Hey, beautiful people. How many of you have been told that you gotta get realistic in life, or you gotta be somebody who's need to settle down, or pick a goddamn career and just go with it. So I'm sure that there are a few of you who have been like that. So if you have, like, you're in the right place because you're gonna talk about what what kind of there's a certain subset of the population which display these kind of characteristics, and uh, we're going to talk today about three things. We are going to talk about uh, who are these people, what kind of a personality type do these people have that makes them do this, and what is the evolutionary advantage of being this way, and finally the how you people like these, um, I'll reveal to you what they are called, and talk about what you can do if you are one of these people to make it in the world. So, my name is Mohit, and I am an architect who is now getting into the sphere of entrepreneurship. So, uh, that's why being an architect, I have like this unique skill set which lets me see through multiple domains and to put them in a cohesive, holistic structure, as in to put them into one box basically. So it requires me to think about outside the boxes of or think outside multiple boxes so that I can put it in a bigger box. And maybe we can like think about that mega box too. So I'm talking like Michael Scott from The Office. So we're gonna bring more clarity into this very soon. So uh, firstly, who are these kind of people who are like you who keep changing who they are, right? Like, does this sound familiar to you? In like, okay, imagine you have a friend, right? So he calls you up and he tells you, "Hey, I just got myself a guitar. I'm going to be a musician now." And you're like, "Okay, cool. Are you sure about this? Because you didn't have that kind of a skill set, and you're just going to start this." Yeah, because just because I say so, I'm going to like start learning the guitar. Got it. And you think you're gonna make like money out of this? No, no, no. For now, I'm just gonna like I'm just exploring, man. Just expanding my horizons. And after a while, a few 6 months or whatever, you find out, hey, like what happened to your guitar practice? Like, yeah, I had to give it up. But it's not like I'm gonna like not go back to it. I'm definitely gonna go back to it. But right now, I'm gonna like start painting. Nice. Okay. So you're getting into painting. So you have been painting as a child. Yeah, yeah. I was painting as a child, but now I'm just exploring, man. So as you see, like them, like they keep going through life, trying multiple things, and uh, this subset of people not only read, a lot of books, but they also like go to museums. They go to concerts. They listen to a lot of crazy different bunch of music, and they are most likely 80% of the time to be aligned to the left, or like left in the political sense. They are more likely to be liberal, whatever it is, and they might resemble, the hippie culture. Like these are all just conjectures. Okay, this is what based on what I have seen. So my opinions. Don't take it as assertions. Consider it a further question for exploration. All right. Uh, and at the same time, there are these certain kind of people who are like great at school. All right, great at school. They have like I'm talking about a different subset here. Like a total converse. Like they are great at school. They are orderly. Their handwriting is neat. They organize stuff, and like they seem to be following through the academic sphere flawlessly. And they once they get into a job, they do well in corporate sectors. They become good businessmen, but not necessarily great entrepreneurs. So, and also these subset of people are likely to be conservative 80% of the time. Again, my opinions, not an assertion. You can check it out yourself. So, in this book called Personality by Daniel Nettle, he talks about personality types. All right. And this was a study in psychology, like recently done. This is like the up to date personality studies, which is called the Ocean. Like openness, like Ocean is an acronym: openness to new experiences, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Today, I'm only focusing on the first one: openness to new experiences. So, what is being openness to new experiences? It is basically creativity. So, in the English language, there are so many words for creativity, right? Like out of the box. I mean, that's a phrase, but help me out here. Like, you call a what do you call a creative person? Like, most the word that you'd be thinking about is artist, or a musician, or probably an architect too. Like, these kind of people go for these creative types of ventures, right? That's what attracted me to be an architect in the first place. So, uh, openness to new experiences. People are the subset category which are interested in abstract ideas, and they are able to like have a rich imagination, and they seem to be they get into drawing a lot, and they never stop drawing even as they're adults, and they enjoy having philosophical conversations. Whereas the C part in ocean, like the next acronym, it talks about conscientiousness. Conscientiousness is basically, they are both industrious and orderly. It's the Grit in Angela Duckworth's book called Grit, and they just hard workers. All right, these are the obedient, the soldier types. They follow orders, and they do excellent in administration and management positions. Uh, Being an open to experiences person, if you are also, there are people who are both open to new experiences, creative, and they are also conscientious. So these kind of people, like they are like it's not that I've met anybody like this. There are a few, but like it seems that the conscientiousness part of their personality may stop them from being creative. At the same time, being very creative, like they have these new entrepreneurial ideas, but they're not able to get into the conscientious part because they want it to be perfect. Because entrepreneurship is a it's a a mess, because there's an entrepreneur by the name Rajat Talreja in India who talks about how success is shabby. All right, like there's a lot of stuff that's happening in the same time. You don't have like a perfect orderly notebook precision process going on. It's a lot of erasing and rewriting and all that stuff in the proverbial book of life. So being an openness to new experiences person, you'd be thinking, right, like if follow your passion like really like calls out to you, then you're likely a creative person. All right. Like there are some subset of the population talk about how following your passion is bullshit. I thought of myself that way too. Like there's this book called So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport. So Cal Newport, I did not know before this, that how my personality type would affect my career. And I had read this book probably 3 times to like really get like what Cal Newport was talking about. And this one part, I kept thinking about it. So was how like following your passion was bad advice. And like he has a fantastic argument about how like people who have followed their passion seem to have not been doing so well in their life. And he talks about an alternative approach where it's not about following your passion, it's about being so good that they can't ignore you. Basically, you develop your skills so hard, and you become the pinnacle of your expertise, that you are able to break through any barrier that comes your way. So uh, but to like my argument is that to be somebody who's so obsessive about getting so good, like do practice deliberately on a daily basis, and wouldn't it take like an obsessive passion to do it? Of course, Cal Newport has put up like his own arguments for this, but they like it doesn't seem to satisfy me insofar as his method is like a zero risk thing. Like he's like you can't take any risks here. Like whatever you are at, like passion doesn't matter, just get good at your whatever you're doing. But it may not work for those people who like you know uh, who seem to be in like jobs which doesn't seem to like take them forward. Regardless, like what I say about following your passion is, whatever your passion is, given the right amount of marketing and sales knowledge, I think you can crack it. So it's not just about being so good they can't ignore you. That's a part of it. Okay, like that takes marketing and sales out of the thing. It's like there's a quote Jordan Peterson talks about, that you build the world's greatest mousetrap and the world will not beat a path to your door. All right. It's not that you just because you're so good, like uh, you will be ignored unless you don't go out and display it yourself. So like that's what's missing in the current sphere, that uh, sales and marketing knowledge. Capitalism or this world economy, right? Without sales and marketing, you won't go forward. Even though you're like stellar at your job, if you don't have those skills to like put yourself out there, then it won't go forward. There was an incident that happened with Robert Kiyosaki, the guy who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad. And a writer comes to him and tells him, "Look, it's great that your Rich Dad Poor Dad book is a bestseller, and I have written a couple of novels, but they never seem to sell. And Robert Kiyosaki is right. Hey, I'm not a great writer, and I'm sure that you have spent a long time to like perfect your craft as a writer, because that person was a journalist. So, but I think what's missing is that you need sales and marketing knowledge. And the writer got so offended that I would never fall so beneath that I wouldn't do sales and I would do marketing and sales. Like my book is so good that people will come and take it. So that's unfortunately the like stigma against marketing and sales. Like have you seen the movie Predator? You see like all these, Arnold Schwarzenegger and I forgot the other actors' names, but whatever. Like they are like big burly men, and you can see them in the jungle, like doing cool stuff. But the predator, the enemy they're facing is invisible. So like it's sort of like that. Like the good marketers and good salespeople, they're invisible. You don't see them at all. Like they come and they like get to the bottom of what you need, and like that desired portion of you. The bad salespeople and the bad marketers, like low integrity marketers, they stick out like a sore thumb. All right, like they make a lot of noise, a lot of distraction. There are a lot of distraction. But the good kinds, right? The good kind of marketing, they just fly by. Like it's like a really well made drink, like a really well made cocktail. Right. So back to this thing, right? Like Peter Thiel also talks about how like the best salespeople are invisible. If you are into a startup culture and everybody is wearing hoodies and that's the culture, like if a guy comes in like a suit and stuff, like all buttoned up, like people wouldn't really gel with that kind of person. So it's about like reading the room, also setting the tone about what kind of a person are you really like connecting with. Peter Thiel talks about in his book Zero to One that they would avoid salespeople based on sartorial as in the way they dressed, and being like a creative person. uh, like I would just talk about this one like song about the stigma of selling out. Like basically selling out for a creative person is something to be avoided. But there's this band called Tool, and the lead singer, like there's an interesting song in one of their albums called um, hooker with a p, all right. And in that, like there's this one line. It's that um, in the song he talks about how a fan comes to them and tells them that, hey, like I was a big fan of Tool, but you guys sold out, man. And so Menard, the lead singer, is having a conversation with this fan, and he tells him that um, like I sold my soul before I was even born, like before even you were born. Okay, like I sold my soul to sell a record, like my music record, and you bought it. Like so, the rest of the song is like, so buy my record. So it's like Maynard is aware about how being an artist, and to like fulfill that artistic lifestyle, you gotta do marketing and sales. And I mean that's not the whole thing, but there's a lot more depth to that song. But that's how I took it. So uh, here, like you have a unique opportunity in the internet, right? You don't like you got to think long term when it comes to marketing. Like even the greatest copywriters, right? When you look at their copy, the sales copy, reads like a novel. It reads like they're telling an amazing story. And that's a really a skilled marketer, a skilled advertiser. They really make stories of out of their marketing things. Like take Michael Bay. Look, Michael Bay has a lot of criticism for being the filmmaker that he is, but there is no denying that the leaders of the industry, like Christopher Nolan and David Fincher and even Scorsese, like they really admire Michael Bay because the way he does the movies. Like if you really like stop and look at the way Michael Bay does things, like it's really mesmerizing. But and he started out as an advertiser. His ad campaign for Got Milk, uh, like that's how he went through, and you can see that he has a lot of product placements in his movies. Even David Fincher in Fight Club, like he put product placement in such a smart way, right? Like because Fight Club is a movie about anti-consumerism, and how what better way to show anti-consumerism rather than showing the uh, you know uh, the consumption base that he's criticizing. So it's like double think, cognitive dissonance type of thing. And these are the things that the postmodernists, like postmodernism is the new after modernism, what comes next, right? So like in the contemporary sphere, we keep evolving, like what it is. And a postmodernism sense is that there is no foundational thing to like stand on, like everything is relative. So it has like so much to explore there. uh, and yet uh, being an artistic creator, like whatever they call content marketing, and saying that content marketing is not really art. So it's all about channeling that passion into something big. Like it takes it's like you have that magic in you, and you're going to Hogwarts and learning the craft and becoming so good at it that you can like channel it and do it to change the world. So this is what is available for the next breed of marketing and sales, and the next breed of artists. And so that's what I really see in the world right now is the metaverse of the internet. It's really turning into a world where these wizards of uh, art and marketing and sales come together and create something amazing. So that's what's available in the future for us all. And this bulb on moment for me came when I was watching like a video, a hackathon video, like in Siddhartha Shekhar. He's a digital coach, and like he was talking about how a brand is based on the archetypes of Carl Jung. Carl Jung's philosophy is psychology is pretty interesting. And one of the archetypes that I could really connect with, like there were four of them, all right. And these brand archetypes were as such. There were um, one like these four archetypes are relating to leaving a legacy, uh, pursuing a connection, providing a structure, and exploring spirituality. So I could not pick like any one archetype. Then I discovered that I was in each of these areas. I was one of those archetypes. When it came to leaving a legacy, I was more of an outlaw, or like a liberation kind of archetype, like somebody who's craving a liberation that is about leaving a legacy, like and somebody who's pursuing a connection, like an extroverted person, personality type like myself. Like I'm about like being the jester archetype, like I gotta tell some jokes or make fun of something. And further, like when it came to the third area about providing a structure, I came closer to being a creator, like innovation. So when I read Steve Jobs biography, like it was like a whole new, it opened up a lot of things for me. At the same time, the final area was exploring spirituality. So here, like there were two archetypes here which I was seeing, like either being a sage or an explorer. But being an explorer really did not call out to me so much as being the sage, of being somebody who was like there to understand like how the nature of the world was. And one of the sage archetypes in business, or in the world, or a brand which has a sage archetype is the BBC. BBC has like a very understanding the world type of aura, coming like I don't want to use aura, but it's like that's the kind of vibe you get from BBC. Like nothing wrong with aura, it's just that I don't want to be connected with the, okay, it is spiritual, exploring spirituality, so why not, like I'm going to use those words. So thank you if you have watched it so far. Like there's more of this stuff to come, and we'll keep you updated. Like, see ya.